to our channel, Shooting Star. This is my baby sister, and today we're gonna read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. No brainer. She might make a little noise, but it's okay. And don't mind if she say mean words in Korea, because she don't know what the mean words mean. So please don't mind. Thank you. Now let's start reading. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. No brainer. April, Monday. A human's brain is supposed to be this amazing supercomputer. That's capable for all sorts of interesting stuff. But if that's true, then I don't know why my brain is always making me do stupid things, like touching the stove when it's on. Youch! It's actually a little annoying, because if you think about it, your brain's one job is to be smart. Like if you poke a bee's nest with a broomstick on a ladder, which is wobbly. I guess it's my own fault for filling my brains with things that aren't important, like video game cheat codes and them songs to old TV shows, because now there's no room left for stuff that actually matters. The problem with a brain is that there's only a limited amount of room in there. So eventually you run out of storage. And the reason it's hard for old people to learn new things is because their brain are just full. Yeah. It's called social media. And if you want to like someone, you just press this little heart. One of these days, there's gonna figure out a way to add more memory. And when they do, I'm gonna buy myself the biggest booster pack I can afford. Brain boost. In the meantime, I'm trying to be real choosy about what I put in my brain. So when someone telling me something I don't need to know, I just try to block it out. So then Mr. O'Malley says she wasn't the one who called me a liar. So I asked her why she was talking to Mr. Ferguson behind my back. La la la, I can hear you. Munch munch. When you're a kid, the things that you use your brain for the most is school, and a lot of your brain power goes to memorizing useless stuff like the name of vice presidents and the words to preschool songs, like if you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. One thing that's really inconvenient is that your brain is inside your head, so you have to take it everywhere you go. But if they even figure out a way to deal with the issue, the school is gonna be a whole different thing. Like brains on the desk and while the teachers making them learn. I think it would be great if your brain could be at school learning while you're doing things you actually enjoy, like playing laser tag with your friends, or hanging out at a card. Then you could pick up your brain at the end of after day and get all caught up. So, what did you learn at school today? Nothing. For now, I guess we're stuck with the current station where your bodies and your brain need to be in the same place. And if you're a kid, that means you've gotta spend a big chunk of your time at school. I'm probably with that is how long the school day is. You're there for 7 hours, but you'll probably only spend 20 minutes of your day actually learning. And that's because most of your time is spent on stuff that doesn't have anything to do with education. Today in 5th period, we spent zero time learning at history because a bee got loose in the classroom and that pretty much killed the chance of anyone productive happening.
이거 페인트 하는 거야?
Buzz.
나 이걸로 페인트 해도 돼?
Sorry, she's packing. I wish everyone would stop fooling around.
이거 페인트 하는 거야.
Just
이거
get
해도 돼?
down to business once school starts. Because that's way we could get the learning part over with and be out of there before lunchtime. But I think they like to stretch things out for keep your things for as long as possible. The whole reason that school was invented is the first place. It's because that in the olden times, kids were causing too many problems at home while their parents were at work, like, throwing burning axes, throwing arrows, and riding on your cat. So they created a whole system with textbooks and lockers and algebra and phys ed just to keep kids out of trouble a few hours every day. You're in school from the day you're 4 until you're at least 18. And after you're done with your education, you have to get a job and work until you reach old age. So by the time you're through with all that, you're too tired to do anything fun. if they really wanted to, they could probably teach you everything you actually need to know by the time you're 5 or 6. But I guess parents don't want to have compete with their kids for good paying jobs. Congrats, Grabs. So they teach you a little bit at a time so you don't get too smart too quick. And sometimes they teach you stuff you can't even use. That won't be happening at my that been happening at my school lately. I just took 3 months of Latin with a teacher named Mr. Layton, and it was my favorite class, but it turned out he didn't know Latin at all, and he and was teaching us nonsense that the whole time. Excatoso nomarca. I'm so Gregorian. When the school found out Mr. Layton was a fraud, he fired him. So now all even going to show for the last 3 months of my life is knowing how to order a hamburger in a language that doesn't even exist. Mr. Layton isn't the only one teaching us stuff we can't really learn. We can't really use. My second student teacher is Mrs. Lakey, and this is her last year, so the only country she teach us about are the ones she planning on visiting with her husband after she retires, which was Bahamas. And for our last homework assignment, she had us research which cruise ships have the best meal plan. Premier Cruise Line, free drink, X. Queen Cross, gluten-free menu, X. Island Hopper, gluten-free menu, X. Desert Bar, X. Salad Bar, X. Some of our teachers don't even bother trying to teach us anything at all. Mr. Pritchard is supposed to be teaching us geometry, but she used pick up which breeds a puppy to get. A few of the teacher, are doing their best, but us kids don't always make it easy for them. Mr. Wright tried teaching science the regular way for half the year, but nobody seems interested. So he switched to teaching about gross stuff even though it makes science a lot more interesting. I don't think any of the information we're learning right now is gonna help us get interest into a good college lately. I wish I didn't know half the stuff I've learned in Mr. Ray's class because over science we watched a video about the microscopic parasites living on our skin. I couldn't stop itching. Itch, scratch, scratch. We don't even have a algebra teacher anymore. Mr. Kwan went on a maternity leave back in October, and they never found a long-term sub to fill in for him. So during fourth period, they just stick us in a computer lab and have us go on the math game website, which is supposed by a candy company. Go Smasher Math. How many Fruity Metal Gum Smasher can fit in your belly mouth before you burst? Answer A. A, 30, 34. B, 37. C, 43. D, 54. And everyone is in my grade need candy to do math, and even me took a station Burdine test last month. A bunch of kids brought a pack of jelly beans and bubble gum to help them con. Choo-choo. 43, 44, 45. Shake, shake. I probably would done a lot better on the test if I wasn't sitting behind a kid who went through an entire jar of God's Smasher. Crunch. It wasn't just the mash science that was hard though. The really science had a bunch of easy shine, and our science station had questions about a stuff we never covered in class, and there wasn't a single question about farts or burps. So when our school test result came back, it wasn't a surprise that our scores were the lowest in the state. In fact, our scores were so bad we made the news. Middle school's performance nose diver. Test score plummet. A lot of parents were pretty upset, including mine. And I guess the superintendent was under pressure to make big changes because he fired our principal, Mr. Maxon, and asked old principal, Mr. Bottoms, to come out of retirement. I'm actually surprised Mr. Bottom agreed to come back because the way my older brother Roderick described it, when Mr. Bottom retired a few years ago, he went out with a bang. Woohoo! But I'm rooting for him to turn things around because based on it turns to fair, the only job I'm gonna be qualified for is a Cruden middle school Latin teacher. Amber Rugro. Friday. Principal Bottom was only been in charge for a few days, and he already made some big changes. And any class that doesn't teach stuff that's on standardized teach was been cut, which kind of stinks because we just started a brownie baking until the whole EC class sniff. This have gonna gotten a lot more serious. In the classes that weren't cut, like science, Mr. Race isn't teaching about body smells. And things like that anymore. But they doesn't mean the stuff we're learning isn't gross. Because this week he understands we were starting to distract until on tabworms. Luckily, there weren't enough tabworms to go around, so we had my partner, Thurman Dringer, had to work with some noodles from the conference instead. Type cafeteria instead. Toddler taking things is things that that thing this science stuff pretty seriously. Though you would never think he was a burden on leftover pasta. Scallops. I guess maybe Tybin would grow up to be a surgery one day, but I hope I don't end up on his order table because I'll know exactly where he got his education. Right, Heffley? Everybody thinks learning science is great, but they never talk about the flip side of things. I've seen a bunch of movies where a scientist loses their mind and try to take over the world. But you never see any movies when the villain is mad zookeeper or a mad gardener. So when we compare a science, I think the else you know, the better. Because I don't need to be the guy to messes around and actually open up a portal to a demon really. Scream! I'll show you the demon. And Greg screaming. Tyler Brennan says that if we even get too important on real tapeworms, we gonna try to bring one back to live my hooking it up to electro things. And this is actually the type of thing I'm worried about. If you ask me, you should go screwing around trying to bring a dead back to life. On top of it, just being wrong if could also be pretty awkward. I feel bad I never spent a great Aunt Rebra a thank you card for a birthday money. For she gave me a few years ago. So I don't know what I'd say to her if she was back in a picture on all of us students. Sorry, I couldn't find stamps. Bye. See you in the next channel.